The end of my relationship with Caroline came like a blow I never saw coming. I had no idea she'd been unfaithful until it was dragged into the open for everyone to see. I wouldn't wish the emotions I felt on anyone. We had been married for about 8 years, and before that we had lived together, building what I thought was a stable life. But as they say, not everything turns out the way you hope. Before Caroline, I had already gone through one divorce. My first marriage ended because we simply couldn't understand each other anymore. When I met Caroline, I thought I was starting fresh with a clean slate. She had a daughter from her first marriage, Natalie, who recently left her husband because of his drinking problem. She moved into our country house for a while. Caroline didn't work, and my income from managing used car shipments from Asia was enough to keep us all comfortable. My work often took me on business trips, and while I was away, Caroline took care of the house. She was an incredible cook, kept the place spotless, and made it feel like a home. I always made sure to appreciate her, complimenting her, bringing her and Natalie gifts from my trips, and always returning with fresh flowers. Caroline had an older brother, Samuel, and they were close. Growing up, Samuel had a group of friends, David, Andrew, and Ralph, who were known for their mischief. Caroline knew them all well. When Samuel turned 30, he decided to celebrate at one of the city's best restaurants, inviting family, friends, and colleagues, about 20 people in total. Before the party, Caroline asked me if I had any business trips planned. I told her no, unless something unexpected came up. That evening, we dressed up and went to the restaurant. The night was lively. We played games, danced, laughed, and enjoyed music. Caroline, who had studied singing in her youth, impressed everyone with her beautiful voice. Andrew, one of Samuel's old friends, was also a talented singer, and the other friends had their own moments in the spotlight. Caroline danced with each of them, and I didn't think much of it. They had known each other for years. I'd had a few drinks myself, and at one point I decided to sing another song, but the alcohol didn't help. I wasn't great. The guests clapped politely, but Andrew looked annoyed. Then, without warning, Andrew stood up and spoke loudly enough for the whole restaurant to hear. He said he wanted more than to just wish his beautiful woman a happy day. He wanted her to leave me and be with him. He claimed they'd been secretly meeting while I was away, and that it was time to stop hiding. The room went silent. Caroline's face turned red, then pale. She snapped at him, telling him not to ruin her life. But inside me, something broke. I left the restaurant alone, the noise of my thoughts drowning out everything else. The country house had been mine long before Caroline. Standing at the door that night, I knew I was done with her. The only thing I wanted to preserve was my bond with Natalie, who I had grown to see almost as my own daughter. Caroline came home in the early hours. She avoided my eyes for a long time before finally speaking. She told me that when they were young, she and Andrew could have been together, but her brother had forbidden it. Andrew had never given up, secretly pursuing her over the years. Natalie had found out and threatened to tell her father, which led to Caroline's first divorce and a long estrangement between mother and daughter, until they reconciled recently. Caroline insisted she had cut ties with Andrew, but that was clearly a lie. She asked me how she could fix things, saying I meant so much to her and Natalie, but my feelings for her were already gone. I told her the only thing left to say, leave. We divorced. Caroline moved in with her mother and had to return to work. Natalie and I stayed in touch, and our friendship grew. Andrew divorced his wife shortly after that night, but his life quickly unraveled, with work problems taking over. Caroline tried several times to get me back, but once someone shows you who they really are, there's no going back. Her attempts were wasted. I never let her back into my life.